What up, everybody? My name is Dorian Renaud, and we are here for the first episode. I don't even think you know that.
I didn't know.
You're on the first episode of the Glory Podcast. All right? Sponsored by Champion, and also our good friends at Celsius. You guys need a good workout, drink a Celsius beforehand,
Get you lit.
and make sure you're working out in your Champion gear. All right? Because you got yours on today.
Yeah.
And you said you bought it. I got to send her a gift bag.
My fanny's in
It's
the
all
car.
good. It's all good. You keep your fanny pack on you.
I need me a gray one now.
You do. I got you.
Okay.
Call Champion. They got you. Plug. Anyway, today on the show, we have a friend of mine, Miss Bresha Webb. You have a new show coming out, second season of Marlon on NBC. And we have Miss Stacey Barr, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. She co-hosting with me today. And I didn't know you two knew of each other.
Yes.
And I was talking to Stacey about you earlier, and she was like, I'm such a big fan of Love That Girl. And then when you walked in, you said, I'm such a big fan of your music.
Oh, my goodness. Your album got me through my last breakup, girl. Comforter and all of that. I would just be so depressed going,
I made the perfect depression music.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Every
I was
piece
in my
of
feelings.
it. I loved it. I love it.
I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you.
She keeps me in my feelings way too much.
I love it.
It's kind of I don't call her at certain times in the morning because she gonna make me cry and shit.
Oh, and that song with John Legend, like, why couldn't have that been longer?
Well, that was them. Like, it was supposed to be an interlude, and then they put it as a song on my album. And
I don't understand.
So we mad at John Legend.
No, we not mad at that. But it was supposed to just be an interlude, and people loved it so much, and so we did a little moment on my album too.
Well, I need that because I didn't know that was long. I've been just replaying
on my album.
Oh, I need that. Thank you.
There you go.
I need that.
There you go.
I would just play it over and over and over.
Yeah, it's like a minute and 20.
Maybe if we're lucky, Stacey might sing a little bit of that before the end of the session. So, Bresha, you've been busy. You have been promoting Marlon. You just got back from Atlanta, today?
Yeah, last night.
Night. And how's the promotion going? What's up?
It's good. You know, people are finding out about it. You know, we did our season. You know, we wrapped it up in May. And so we were really shocked that they were airing it so close after because last year when we did our season, it took them like 4 months to premiere our show. So we were like, I hope everybody didn't forget about it. It's another summer season show. But yeah, it's 5 weeks of funny, 2 episodes back to back. So we just want people to tune in. I mean, it was the highest rated summer series, like in the past 10 years.
Look at God.
Look at God. Won't he do it?
Yeah,
and we started really high with high ratings, and we actually ended higher than our premiere night. It's like no one ever like ends higher than it began. You know, but NBC, they staying woke. You know, I'm like, y'all better come correct. Give us that 20 episodes so I can buy this house. You heard me?
Speaking of NBC, you know, you were one of the top major networks. Yeah. And, you know, we like to touch on hot topics here. And one of the things that's going on right now is, you know, the whole debacle with Roseanne. Oh, yes. And being that you're on a sitcom that's based around family, very similar to, you know, Roseanne, what that is.
And it's a multicam.
How do you feel about their decision to kind of like ask that? And what did you feel, what was your reaction when you saw what she said?
Well, my reaction was I wasn't surprised that she said something like that. I mean, she has already shown herself, and her behavior has been very racist and, you know, very it just has been so against the ABC family brand. Right. You know, no matter if her show was #1 or anything, they knew what they were hiring. Right. They just hoped that she would like keep it together. And I feel like that's kind of smothering who you really are. Yeah. And at some point it's going to come to light. You know, everything that's done in the dark is going to come to light. So she was just being herself. Right. Yeah. And ABC had to, you know, because they're in the public eye, they had to do something very swiftly to stand up and say that we do not represent this as a network. So I applaud them for doing that. And of course, know whose network you're doing this with. It was a Black woman that's running the network. Yeah, absolutely. You know, so you can't say things like that, Roseanne. But, you know, of course, because of her privilege, she didn't think it was going to happen like that. Yeah. And, you know, and because of that, it's not just her losing a job. It's the camera
and that's
operators,
what I was going to say. Because
producers.
How would you feel? You're on a sitcom like that. Yeah. How would you feel if Marlon said something like that and you lost your job, though? Like,
Yeah,
what do you do? You call a nigga?
Yeah,
like,
you
what
call
do you
a
say?
nigga.
Like,
Absolutely. But you know what, Marlon, it's just a different set. You know, I
Yeah.
can't speak for Roseanne.
Right.
But the way that we run our set, we love and respect everyone from the top down. And that
Absolutely.
is set from Marlon, from the top
Okay.
down. You know, we respect our set. Our camera operators love us, down to the PAs. You know,
Wow.
we all watch out for each other. We have food trucks every film day. We all are helping each other out. We know that it's a collective part that everyone has to make for us to be the best. You know,
Yeah.
if there's something funny that somebody on the crew says that's funnier than what we wrote or funnier than what Marlon and the team came up with, we'll try it.
Right.
You know, because we respect the space. And I don't know if that was a part of what they had going on there, because if they did, things like that wouldn't have happened.
But don't you feel an immense amount of pressure? Because technically, if you say the wrong shit, you could get a lot of people fired.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you're on a big show and on a big network. That's a big responsibility.
And everybody has their own opinions about what is, you know, status quo and what you can say and what you can't say. So that's why I learned very early on, I don't tweet like that.
Yeah.
And for Roseanne, who is seasoned in the game, like you've been in this for 30 plus years,
Right.
you would think that like you would have you would entitled to your opinion.
Absolutely.
But don't tweet it, babe.
Don't
Because
tweet it. Everybody's looking at you.
Tuning in, babe.
And it's
And
you know,
it's a reboot.
Yeah.
And so all eyes are on
you.
And then you got a black woman and she said, bye sis, just like they did to Bill Cosby.
Absolutely.
When those allegations came, they shut it down. That's what you did to our black family.
And no more residuals.
Right.
Everybody.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
So everybody got to watch what they say. You could feel however you want to feel, but babe,
You can't put
you
it
got
out
millions of followers. You're going to relate a black person to a monkey and a... It's like sis.
I mean, and then she tried to go behind it and say it was blamed on medication, whatever.
No, and you saw Ambien come in there. Ma'am, that had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ambien does not make you racist.
Yeah, straight up.
In there.
Don't
Okay.
you coming for our coin.
Exactly. I mean, because I didn't take an Ambien before, and I definitely ain't wake up in the middle of the night tweeting some crazy
Okay,
shit.
like,
isn't
you
that
know
to
what?
put you to sleep?
Right.
Yeah.
So what she was doing tweeting, babe?
She took a little something else.
She tried it. That's what she did.
Speaking of Bill Cosby, because you brought that up. Now, Bresha, you and I've been seeing you around for years. We've been friends, acquaintances, but I've always admired you. And I've always liked how you move. And I was like, you know what? It's crazy that this girl is funny. She cute as hell. And she's been able to move through the business the way she moved. And I want to ask you, you don't have to say names or anything. Has anybody with the whole Me Too movement that's going on? Because I know I felt uncomfortable as a man in many instances. Have you ever been in a situation where you just felt completely uncomfortable in this business?
You know what? You know, I was asked this another time when I was on an interview, and I can honestly say no.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's just this sense, this sixth sense that I have being from Baltimore, being around the hood, you know, just knowing when things are getting a little too uncomfortable, and I can sense when it's at the door.
Right.
You know, Holy Spirit, whatever.
Right.
Like, I know what's up, you know, and I know either to walk in and walk towards that and know that something might happen or how to walk out of it. Now, I know a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, so basically you're saying you're not going to a director's hotel room at 12:30 at night.
And I have been invited. I've been invited to certain things like that, and I check it at the door. I'm sorry, what? Like, I had a producer one time call me and asked me what I was doing on a Saturday, and he was like, well, I'm about to go get a massage. And I said, well, that is wonderful. You want to have a meeting after your massage?
Right.
And he said, he was like, well, I wanted to invite you. I said, well, I'm okay having my own massages on my own time.
Right.
And I said it in that tone.
Right.
Now, I might have not gotten the job.
Right.
But I also believe that what is for me is for me.
Right.
And I'm not going to run towards something just because that's not what I signed up for. I came here to be a working actress, respected. I've never had to sleep my way to the top. I've never had to do anything compromising who I am to get where I'm at.
Right.
So I keep that shit going. And I work with men all the time, men, comedians, all kinds of stuff. And I set up a boundary. No, you know what time it is.
Straight up.
You know what time it is.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. I'm shutting it down.
And you in your industry, because you are a comedian. So and you funny as hell.
Like,
so,
you know, I do me.
You know, you funny as hell. So how do you balance being able, because I've been on sets and I'm on a comedy show myself, and I know that sometimes the women can get pushed to the side when it comes down to jokes. A lot of people don't talk about women comedians and the battles that you guys have to face as a woman comedian to be heard and to be funny.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I've been very fortunate for the men that I've worked with to respect my sense of humor. Of course, on several sets, and even on Marlon on our first season would come at me, and I wasn't allowed in some instances to come with a two-liner or something right afterwards.
Right.
But after a while, I got sick of it.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? It's not written, but I'm an improv because that's where I come from.
Yeah.
I come from Bentley Kyle Evans, Martin Lawrence, Mike Epps. Like, these men raised me in comedy. Lil Duval. I know how to snap sometimes.
Yeah.
So even if you ain't gonna let me shine, I'ma shine anyway. I know how to grab the attention and do what's best for me. And now it's like come to a place where Marlon is expecting it, and he's playing jump rope. We play jump rope with each other. Okay. He knows if he's coming with me, I see his wheels turning. I already got something in the back.
Okay.
So for women that are fighting for their time to be funny on set, even if it's not written, and unfortunately, it's like that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna write jokes for you if you're the sexy, pretty girl, and you can beat all of that, but just have something in the backpack ready to go.
Yeah, and you two have a lot in common because you are in a small field, because it's not that many women comedians, especially African Americans, and you are an amazing songwriter. Yes. And that is a male-dominated business, right? Definitely. So when you are trying to get your lyric, because being a comedian and being a songwriter is kind of the same, because you have to think about things to entertain.
I've seen her work.
Right.
You don't even, it goes this far back. I remember when you were in a session I was dating at the time. And it was years, eons back. And I saw, it was a room full of men. And my guy was the man, of course. And everybody was pitching their lyrics and stuff like that. And you just had the whole song ready.
No, because I'd be in situations where it's so many dudes and I'm the only woman in the room. I say, hey, put your headphone on, engineer. I'm going to go in the booth. I'm not, if it's not flowing, I'm going to do me. And then after I'm done, you're going to hear it. Yeah. And then nobody in the room, the party's going on, and nobody in the room knows what I'm doing in the booth because the engineer is recording with his headphones. And I'm like, press play. That's all I do. You know what I mean? So I don't fight for time with lyrics because most of the time I just do it. You know what I mean? Did
you feel intimidated though at the beginning to go in these studios with these major guys and say, this is what I want to write?
But honestly, I always had the sister love because, I never been Me Too because I was always fat. So, nobody, like they looked at me like the homie sister friend, like, girl, you my brother, not even my sister.
Well, you know what? I get it too because, I got little bumps. I ain't got the big bumps everybody wants, so I've always been a little sis.
Girl, I ain't never been
always.
Me Too.
I ain't never had.
Okay. Oh, man.
And I started to feel like there was something wrong with me. Like, why me?
Why haven't you been Me Too? You like, I'm wearing my shirt low.
Here, like,
I got my ass out. Ain't nobody trying to Me Too me.
Do you not smell me?
Oh, man.
You're not into it? Got it. Okay. But the things that it hasn't, I've have the similar story. I've never had to fight for it. Like every man that I've been involved with, from Diddy on down to Jimmy Iovine, has always saw me and respected me. They're like, baby Missy, like, oh. Yeah. I reminded them of what they experienced before, so I had a good experience as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before Marlon, a lot of people know you from Marlon, but a lot of other people know you
the black
people know you because you was the girl that tried to get a dance with Drake and he turned you down.
Yes.
So what I have to ask you is, on behalf of the nigga that turned you down or tried to, do you think that he should respond to this Pusha T mess? Because you know both of them, Stacey. So should Drake respond? Is he too big?
I thought he did respond. I think he has a response in the back pocket. Okay. Am I interested in hearing it? No.
You don't care?
I don't care. Like, he told us that you have a child that you haven't taken care of, okay? We saw the pictures of the baby shower. Sad.
But you know what my thing is? As a rapper who hasn't been out in a minute, I'm not coming for Drake. Like, don't come for him to make your thing a little bit more spectacular.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing with rap beef. It's like, bruh, this is not even interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
you felt like he didn't have you felt like he didn't have a place to speak.
I mean, he's a legend in his own respect. They're both legends. I just don't feel like rappers should come at other rappers on some 50 Cent trying to shut you down to make your thing bigger. That's fucked up.
I don't believe Pusha still like sells dope. You know, he just talked about selling dope so much.
But did he cross? did he cross the line to you?
Cross the line on selling dope?
You know, just with his personal business.
I mean, when he talked about 40, I just thought that was a little much, you know, and meeting 40,
that's like for the Tupac, hit him up, really malicious, like, why
that was really, that was hard. And I feel like as a bigger person for Drake, out of love, I feel like he should just let it die because people, like, we are old enough to know this is a business.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, make y'all money. Y'all making money together. Y'all acting like y'all beefing and y'all laughing all the way to the bank.
Right.
But there's some crazy people out here that take this very personal.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want a Biggie and Tupac thing.
It's not going that far.
You don't know.
For sure.
I mean,
it ain't going that far.
Not with them.
But
I mean, they're at like fashion shows and look at me and my jig on cheap.
No, we're too elevated for it to go that far at this point. I think they're gonna like have like an outfit battle. Okay.
I mean, their rap battle is like Real Housewives of New York.
It's watered down.
Like it's like very Long Island white Caucasian.
Right.
You know, catty beef.
Right.
That's why your mother, they're Jewish, just sitting there with a cigarette and a scotch going, fuck you and your mother.
So, Bresha, before we get into you, I do want to know, when all that Drake stuff happened, did he DM you and be like, hey, girl? Really?
No, I didn't even. This is the fucked up shit about it, okay? And I'm cursing because it is really emotional. I didn't know. Let me tell you what happened, okay? I was having a couple of drinks at the Netflix party.
Yes,
you know, I was invited.
Yes,
you know, all my friends were there. I had my hair, my makeup, and my dress was nice. You know, so we're all dancing. Drake over there on the computer. He wasn't on the ones and twos. He was just pressing enter on the, the computer. And, you know, he danced with Zoe Kravitz, and we're all having a good time. Right. Like, yay. We're dancing. Black excellence. He's moving his head around, checking everybody. Hey. So She Lives in My Lap just happens to be one of my favorite songs. You know, and I just was like, oh, my God, that's my favorite song.
Were you lit? You were lit.
I wasn't that lit. I knew what was going on. I knew my girlfriend was like, you know, everybody's leaving. Why don't you ask Drake for a dance?
Why not?
Why not? And I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Why not? I had no idea that someone who I will not mention was filming the whole shit. Had no idea. He was just like filming me dancing around and caught magic. Okay?
That was magic for sure.
Magic gold,
that
honey.
was magic.
Magic. But this motherfucker posted it.
That's okay.
So, you know, I went over there and I was just, you know, he was just so light and fluffy with everyone just a moment before. And then I just went like, hey, you want to dance? And I would have just been a roach. Just crawled up on his hand and he went, no. And snatched it back like I was. And I instantly didn't think it was me. I just said, are you okay? I'm thinking, can I get you a drink? Are you all right? Because we're all invited here.
Right.
It's okay. You're just Drake. You're just. And he was like, no.
Oh, wow.
Flung me off like that, right? So he's catching this on camera. I had no idea.
Good thing he did, though.
And I was like, maybe he acted like that because he saw him filming. I have no idea. I was oblivious. I had no idea. So I go home. I'm living my life. Wake up. And then My friend calls me. She's like, "Oh my God, Bresha, you're on the Shade Room." I said, "I'm sorry, what?" I said, "I haven't slept with anybody I'm not supposed to sleep with. I don't
That's
talk
like the
about
worst call
people
ever. You on the
in
Shade Room, like, oh
and
no.
I was like, I know it's not for my outfit because it was shade, honey.
Right,
and
right.
I went on there and I was like, oh my God, I was panicked. I ran right to the gym. I mean, I was in my pajamas literally. It was like a nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh my God. My girlfriends are working out. I was like, just stop what you're doing. I'm in fucking shade.
Yeah.
I'm shading my.
What the fuck did
What the fuck did you do this
Well, they were
for?
talking about Drake. They tried to make it
They
look like
tried to
Drake
make
was
it seem
dissing
like
her.
like I was thirsty.
She was thirsty. That's not the case. She
I
just
was
was having a good
thirsty.
time. It was a listen. If you work your ass off to get to the point where you around Golden Globes can go to the Netflix party and you're hanging out, everybody's having a good time, right? I got invited. I want to have a good
I'm
time.
with Carrie just a few moments ago.
Right. I saw the pic.
Tracy Ellis Ross. We're all dancing.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
And you know what's funny? Here's the crazy thing. I have a feeling that Drake is going to have his day with you. It's going to be funny because he's going to realize who he was talking to, what he did. He knows what he did.
I don't have time for this egg man. This, he just looks like a beaded egg, with no salt or pepper. I'm okay.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? If I had that experience, you probably loved him before that experience.
You know what? I didn't because he was always so emotional in all of his music.
Uh-huh.
And I would always talk about it. I was like, you know what? I just want to have a good time. I don't want to hear about who you ran through.
Yeah.
You're always so upset.
Stacy loves him.
He's so moody, and I'm here for sometimes a moment, but
his music is good. His music is good. Stacy likes him. I'm not necessarily a fan of him in person. Okay,
I don't know him like that.
She likes his music.
I love his music.
And I fuck with his music too.
He's
but
very
he's not
Jewish when it comes
he's
to
not
the
my favorite person either.
He's very Jewish when it comes to the word.
I haven't had a bad experience with him. I just respect. I'm a writer, so it's
you respect the writing. I mean, he's very intelligent with the words, and
mastered, ratchet, and prolific at the same
and
time.
pop.
Yeah, and then
because in a way he's not from here, so all he has to do is study our shit. So all he had to do is become.
But the blackface. I'm not here for that.
Okay.
I'm not here for that either.
He went back to being Aubrey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Degrassi. Okay.
Yeah.
Wheelchair Jimmy. Okay. That's where he went.
He is. He's an interesting character. That's what we'll leave
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
I know too much information.
Yeah. Well, we got the culprit in the building.
I used to hang out in the T-Dog.
So, Bresha, back to you, because I'm kind of looking at your shit right here on my page, and I'm seeing like you have Marlon now, and Marlon is going great, and that's a blessing for you. But right before Marlon, you were on a show called Truth Be Told.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a pretty big show on the same network.
Mm-hmm, on NBC, and they canceled us. They canceled us.
How did that feel?
Oh, it felt like crap.
I haven't been canceled yet, so I don't know how that feels.
Oh, it sucks. But it was a triumph for me because I had been guest starring on so many different shows before then on major network.
ER,
Grey's Anatomy. Like I was like working consistently, but I had never booked a network series. Right. I was on Love That Girl, but that was a TV One series. No one really respected the the show and my work, except people who watched it.
Right.
But it taught me everything that I needed to know to do sitcoms and do comedy and stuff. But no one really respected me as an actress. And so when I booked Kevin Hart on ABC, we did Keeping It Together. I was so happy, and then that pilot didn't get picked up for ABC.
Oh wow!
And so then I was doing.
Wait, so you booked a pilot with Kevin Hart,
and Romney Malco and Jeff Ross,
and it didn't get picked up.
It didn't get picked up.
So, because I've been there before, when you know how much money you're about to make, because they tell you that's the fucked up shit about it.
You're about to be on a show.
They tell you how
Hart.
much you're gonna make an episode.
Yes.
How do you deal with that travesty that the shit ain't happening? You ain't making that money. Like, what do you do?
I just sit on the couch and listen to your music.
Yeah, right. Stacey's the perfect person to listen to if you had a bad day.
Get my wine and be like, but you know what? You get up and you try again because you already got a guest.
Yeah.
You know, you were good enough to get in the room. You were good enough
Absolutely.
to go through the whole process and get all these execs to say yes to you. So you're good enough to be there.
So did you know? Because truth be told, I actually watched. I remember watching it because it was you and some light skinned brother
Oh, Tom.
on there, and I was like,
Yes.
"Well, I ain't get that role." But it was you and the light skinned brother, and I was
Yeah.
watching the show, trying to support.
Thank you.
But as I was watching the show, I was like, honestly, watching that, then watching Marlon, I was like, I'm like, this might not make it.
Yeah.
You know, this is a ship that might stop halfway. Did you know that too? Honestly,
You know what? When you're in it, you believe it.
okay.
You know, you believe it as much as possible. And
When you were watching it, did you feel
that it was going to get
that it was
canceled?
going to get canceled, basically?
No, because you work so hard on something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when we were filming while we were airing.
Oh, okay.
And so, and I was really happy to be a part of the project because Will Packer was a producer, DJ Nash, who is an amazing writer. And it was really progressive in the way that we showed and where it is now in our climate and, just people just not getting along and we're all just at each other's throats.
Right.
Showing two couples, different ethnicities, talking about real issues. It was kind of before its time.
Yeah.
So you have a Black couple and we were talking about, being successful and not having children and how that affects a new marriage.
Okay.
And our next door neighbors who are also our close friends who have kids.
Right.
And, it was a very progressive show for that network and for that time.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to see Black married couples on TV. So we were making a lot of progression. So I believed it because people were writing me and talking to us so much about how it was great to see a reflection of themselves on television. Seeing a Black married couple, a happy married couple on TV. You just don't get to see that.
So were you surprised?
I was devastated.
Really?
When when the numbers come in.
Of course, absolutely.
They said you ain't gonna
absolutely.
make it.
How does that work? Do they call you like
everybody?
Who calls?
Oh.
Does your agent call and say,
no.
"Look, it ain't pushing too well"?
Oh girl.
Girl,
it got real. I said, girl.
Is it a
No, they came on set.
Oh, y'all was
we were supposed to film 13 episodes.
Oh, damn.
They cut us down to 10.
Okay.
And then little by little, every episode, more and more people were coming to our run through. The network comes to our
they weren't
showing up, And then after a while they'll go, so it was nice. It was great meeting you.
Damn.
And you haven't gotten the word that you're canceled. They're saying that, we're gonna wait a while. We'll see what happens in December.
So wait, you guys just don't come. They it's just like you're supposed to be on set on Tuesday. And they're like, "Hey, don't come."
No.
Chilling for a second.
They just people just coming, walking on the lot, and they're just going. It was so nice knowing you.
Damn.
And I go, what are they? Somebody just said it was nice. Is it over? So that place of just not knowing.
Yeah.
And then they all come, all the execs, and I was bawling at this point. I'm like, we over. I shipped my parents here. I was crying. But thank God it's so good because as I was weeping, and just being so upset, but happy that I made it.
Right.
NBC let me know that Marlon was coming.
Right. Because because now you're on the same network.
Yeah.
And Marlon is on NBC.
Yes, they said don't cry.
NBC
don't cry.
Your back.
Dry your eyes.
You know somebody. Somebody at the top over there at NBC, right?
They said don't
watching it.
They said no, she funny.
Yeah.
Marlon's coming.
Put her over here.
God's plan. Ooh, God's plan.
Has Marlon been? Has Marlon been has it been the most pleasant experience for you thus far? Has it been the most rewarding for you?
Oh my God, for sure. Oh, there's my lash. I was looking for
lost
this
your lash
earlier today, and I was dying. I was like, "Where is that lash?"
So
I'm gonna
it
put
hid
right
here.
It hid here.
And you put a whole nother set on.
Yeah, I did. I was looking for it. I'm gonna let it live there. But I knew Marlon before the show.
Okay.
Marlon met me while I was auditioning for movies for him.
Okay.
Not getting it, but him saying you're absolutely funny and I like you. I believe in you.
Right.
And seeing me on stage and saying, keep going. And so when I texted him and I was like, yo, I'm coming in for your show today for an audition, he was like, kill that shit.
Yeah.
Make it hard for me to say no.
Right.
You know, and I went in there and I did my thing, and they was like, "Here you go, Bresha."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I'll be damned."
Yeah.
You know, and so I went in for both roles, you know, for Ashley and Yvette. And
Okay.
they weren't looking to make Yvette by complexion.
Right.
You know, they were looking for a white. They wanted to really, you know, make it diverse as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, Essence didn't know me. They were like, we don't know what's gonna happen, but Bresha's funny and we approve.
Right.
So I just thank God that happened.
Do you? I mean, because you had a.
And Marlon's been a dream. I mean, Marlon's the best boss.
I mean, because he's an icon in comedy.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
You know, going on those sets and being on the NBC lot, do you ever feel like out of place? Like, or do you ever feel like they look at you guys like the black show in any type of way?
I mean, I can't.
Are
say
y'all the
that.
black show on the
We
set?
June 14th. 9/13.
Y'all the black show on the lot.
I can say that.
Is the catering different on the Marlon set versus?
You know what? Marlon is an amazing boss because he never lets us feel the way that they might or anyone else might treat us.
Right.
You know, he puts so much of himself above and beyond the network. You know, he's on the road every weekend. Every weekend while we're even shooting, promoting himself and promoting the show. So he goes above and beyond what the network will do. You know, so we never feel the brunt of whatever he's feeling. You know, the posters aren't up yet or whatever. He's doing it himself.
Right.
You know, catering, we eat very well. And he's so sweet. He always has a food truck or a coffee truck. He's always spoiling us. Nice. You know, and Essence and I, we're the girls of the set, and he's always just spoiling us. Valentine's Day roses and massages. Nice. And I was like, you know, because, you know, I'm single out here in these streets. So it really felt nice to have somebody to think a little bit about me.
You might not be single too long.
You think?
You know, you got a good job, shit.
Listen,
I mean,
I don't
somebody
want those
might
niggas.
be crazy not to.
I just got rid of one of those niggas.
You
I love
what?
your job.
Hey, listen,
get out of here.
It happens, you know.
Listen,
take care of yourself. You pulled over your fancy car. She had a new BMW.
Yeah. I live my life.
Got that NBC money.
Red interior.
I want to know, both of y'all, because you guys are both women. You guys are both women.
Yes, we are.
Because you're on a sitcom, what were your favorite sitcoms growing up, and what were your favorite sitcoms?
I'll let you go. Because we're probably going to say the same one.
Yeah, we probably. I mean, Martin, Living Single, Family Matters, Fresh Prince. I mean, the whole WB lineup.
The white people shit at that time.
Absolutely. I mean, my favorite is Golden Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Golden Girls.
Golden
Girls. If we're going there, it's Golden Girls.
Golden
Emptiness.
Girls. Yes. Maud. Don't sleep on Maud. Maud, she was amazing. Coach, Cheers.
How old are y'all? Because I don't remember none of those.
I look
I'm
at
30.
TV Land. I look at TV Land. Okay. So, I mean, I love sitcoms.
Yeah.
So I watch.
So it's a dream for you almost to be on Marlon, because it's like when you're young, that's like the only thing that we had to watch. We fell in love with these families, and so now somebody's getting an opportunity to fall in love with you. Second season, it airs this Thursday, and what's the date?
June 14th.
June 14th.
9:30
There you
p.m.
go. Yep.
And
you have one coming too.
Oh.
Yes, I do. We here to talk about me. But you know, it's funny. Me and Bresha, she worked with Billy Kyle Evans.
I gotta say Netflix too. If you missed the first season.
Oh, it's on
Marlon.
Netflix.
We premiering on June 14th.
That's incredible.
So you can binge watch us in the day and then watch
catch the
rest. That's incredible. Because I'm gonna keep it real. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and I had the other DVR, and I didn't catch them. But now that I know,
you can
I will.
You can go back.
Yeah,
you can go back.
That's the Baltimore coming up out of
here.
That's the Baltimore. So you know this show. This show is called The Glory.
Okay.
And you know, we like to end the show all deep and shit. And we like to talk about your glory moment.
Oh.
And you know, for me, I like to think of a glory moment is that moment, like how Oprah say that aha moment, when you realize something. And so for you going through this business, you know, you've had so many triumphs, so many, you know, downfalls, if you could say. You had, you know, big shows being picked up by major networks. What thus far has been like your glory moment, where you sit and you say, wow, like, thank you. Like, I'm here and I made it and I'm happy.
There's a glory moment for every day.
Yes.
You know, I feel like so many, I can't speak for everybody else, but I don't take time to appreciate my glory moment for the day. You know, I remember sitting down and being frustrated after my pilot didn't get picked up with Kevin Hart, and I was like so upset. It was just like I did all the work, Jesus,
Right.
and it didn't work out. And you know, Holy Spirit said, write down what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to work with, and be very specific. And I was like, okay. And I wrote down Kevin Hart again, Mike Epps. I want to film 2 movies with them. I just started listing so many things. I want to be on a network show for seasons. I wanted to get picked up for second, third, fourth indication, syndication.
Right.
I started being very specific. And a glory moment for me was when I could sit back this year and say, okay, I'm in my second season of Marlon. I just filmed a movie with Kevin Hart, Night School, that's coming out.
Yes.
And I didn't have to audition. It was just because, favor,
Yes.
Will Packer, Malcolm Lee, they were just like, we love you. We want to put you in this in some way. And Kevin Hart said, I want you to play my twin.
Yeah.
He was like, we don't know what we want to do with you yet,
Yeah.
but I believe in you. And
Yeah.
I was like, what in the world? To have someone say that to you that you look up to as an icon. Mike Epps, I did 2 movies with him now.
Wow.
Meet the Blacks. We just finished Meet the Blacks 2. And, I got to work with Cat Williams.
Wow.
He was also on my list. So seeing things in that moment of depression and just being so defeated, I was able to go back to that diary journal, and I was just able to see all the things that God truly has given me, from what I asked, in a very, humbling place, just asking for things. And I'm still asking,
Yeah.
I remember being on the plane last week and going, oh my God, I would love to work with Zach Galifianakis. Like he's an amazing improv actor and I would love to work with him. And I went in for this audition. And this is just a small triumph. They
Right.
said, you got a call back. And I was like, well, who are the producers? What is going on? What's an untitled project?
Right.
Whatever. Going for the callback. And he is in there.
Wow.
And I get to freaking do improv
Wow.
with one of my favorite improv actors.
Wow.
So I just really appreciate, and I take those glory moments every day. Even if I don't get the movie or the part, I say, okay, I said it. It was manifested. I did it, and I have the power
That's amazing.
to say those things and see them come to life.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
God damn it, I cannot top that. And I'm not gonna try. But what I want to say, I appreciate you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
It's
for
an honor. I
having
mean,
me.
I've always wanted to talk to you and hear your story, and it's an incredible story. Stacey, you got any final closing words for her? Because I know y'all both like loving on each other.
My final closing thing to wrap up on the Glory Day, to piggyback on what you said, is that I too don't take time out to honestly see what I've done. It's not until somebody's like, "Oh my God, you did this," and I know this song, I did that, because I'm so hard on myself
Yes.
that I don't ever really take time out to damn, I did that. I did so many things, and I'm just always looking to the future, and I'm gonna start doing what you said. Yeah, just to close out. I mean, I manifest a lot of things, but just to cross them off, I haven't written down what I wanted in a minute, so.
Do it.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Notes and lessons from Bresha Webb. So Marlon airs again on
June 14th.
June 14th.
9
and
9:30
you
p.m.
got
on NBC.
Meet the Blacks 2 coming out
Yeah.
Meet
soon.
the Blacks 2.
When does that come out?
What
That
else?
comes
Plug
out.
yourself.
Both of them come out in September. I don't know the exact dates. I do know, okay, Night School comes out September 13th.
Okay.
And that's with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish
Okay.
and Romney Malco, all my friends.
Okay.
And Meet the Blacks with Mike Epps, Cat Williams, their chemistry together is so stupid. My brother Lil Duval, it's a hilarious movie, and I believe that comes out September 5th or October. I'm not completely certain, but
Okay.
they both funny.
So you gonna see
And I
us
did
all the way through the
Acrimony,
fall.
and that's
Basically,
out
she
now,
gonna be
like-
busy for the rest of the year, and I'm gonna borrow some money from her ass.
Because you know the residuals.
Book.
My God. My God. My God.
She booked. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to The Glory. My wonderful guest, Bresha Webb.
Thank
you have
you.
to come back.
I would love
want
to.
you
This is
coming
the
back
first
all the time.
episode?
First
First
episode.
episode.
So, you know, like when you become iconic and shit, you got to always come
know.
back here because I'm going to be like, you know, you're on my first episode and shit like that. And my wonderful co-host, Stacey Barth. And
Thank you for
we'll be
having me.
bringing you more episodes of The Glory coming soon.